God has not called me to be successful. He has called me to be faithful. This quote from Mother Teresa has given many people inspiration. Not just her words, but her works have given many people hope and faith in God. Agnes Garcia Bajío was born on August 26, 1910, in the modern city of Skopje, the capital of the Republic of Macedonia. Unfortunately, her birthday is disputed. During her childhood, she was baptized into the Roman Catholic faith. During Agnes's childhood, her mother, Joanna, had taught her siblings and Agnes to put others' needs before themselves. Joanna was described as a generous woman and kept the Catholic faith strong within her family. When Agnes was 12 years old, she felt a calling to live her life for God and service to others. In her youth, she spent a lot of time at church doing activities such as youth group. This experience made her faith with God even stronger. At the age of 18, she was sent to London, where she joined the Loretto Sisters of Dublin. This was a huge step for Agnes's spiritual life. This is where Agnes took the name Teresa after her patron saint, Saint Teresa of Lisieux. Years later, she was sent to Calcutta, India, to teach at St. Mary's High School for Girls. This is where she was first introduced to poverty in Calcutta. Here she took the name Mother to go before Teresa. Then everything changed in Mother Teresa's life. On September 10, 1946, she received a call within a call from Christ. She was told to leave the school and to work with the poorest of the poor. She heard Jesus say, "I thirst." So she knew to satisfy his thirst, she would establish missionaries for the world. She said, the message was quite clear. It was an order. I knew where I belonged, but I did not know how to get there. Mother Teresa contacted a spiritual director, Father Van Ixiam. He brought the Missionaries of Charity idea to the head of the Calcutta Archdiocese. Mother Teresa had to write to the head of the Loretto Sisters of Dublin to release her so she could start her new religious order. Mother General granted Mother Teresa's permission very kindly. Mother Teresa then went to Pope Pio XII to grant her permission to start the new religious order. She spent 2 years trying to convince the Vatican that the call was real. In April of 1948, she finally received permission to start new religious order, the Missionaries of Charity. After getting this mission approved, she was required to become an Indian citizen to receive medical training. By the time of 1950, she had already established an open-air school for children, aiding for the education of adults, and a house for the dying. These all were before and separate from the Missionaries of Charity. Also in 1950, Mother Teresa officially established the Missionaries of Charity. They were known for taking a fourth vow. This fourth vow was separate from the other three vows that Mother Teresa had already succeeded in her work with the Loretto Sisters of Dublin. This fourth vow was, and is, to give wholehearted and free service to the poorest of the poor. In 1965, after 20 years of the kind and loving work that the sisters put into caring for the poor, Pope Paul VI ordered the Missionaries of Charity the Decree of Praise. This allowed them to expand internationally around the globe. In 1979, Mother Teresa was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her courageous, kind, and loving work with the poor. With the help of their co-workers, the Missionaries of Charity opened more than 600 hospitals, schools, counseling services, homeless shelters, orphanages, and programs for alcoholism and addiction in over 120 countries by 1997. In all of her work, Mother Teresa continued to love and care for the poor with faith, spirit, and hope. The Missionaries of Charity wanted to give wholehearted and free service to the poorest of the poor, and they had and continue to complete this vow today. Mother Teresa had given her devotion to the poor because she saw Jesus Christ in each one of them. She showed us that all people are equal and that every single person, including the poor and the unborn, deserves all of our care and love. Sadly, on September 5th, 1997, Mother Teresa had left this world and went into heaven. She will be beatified on October 19th, 2003. Though she left, Mother Teresa has inspired billions of people around the globe to be more kind and loving on a daily basis. Her leadership was amazing, showing the care and love she put into living and working with the poor. As Mother Teresa inspired many of the people inspired by her had not met her, including Auxiliary Bishop of St. Paul and Minneapolis, Most Reverend Andrew Cousins. He says, Mother Teresa inspired Catholics to remember what Jesus said, "Whatever you do to the least, you do to me." Matthew chapter 25. She believed this, which is why she was so loving to everyone, especially to the poor. She inspired me to desire to love Jesus more with my whole heart and to serve him in all that I do. She always tried to do this. Most Reverend Andrew Cousins also says, Mother Teresa was a reminder to the world of the value of the poor and the vulnerable, especially the unborn. She taught us all that every human life has value, and that we should try to love every person as if they were Jesus. She continues to impact the world through her witness of love and through her sisters who continue to care for the most vulnerable. As Susan Conroy, an author of books inspired by Mother Teresa and a fellow sister of Mother Teresa, said, Love, love, love. Mother Teresa was known as a woman who loved the world. She truly loved us all, and she treated every single person like gold. Susan Conroy used these words to describe how Mother Teresa inspired people around the globe.
The question that was just asked also, when I was in Mother Teresa's presence, I felt like I was receiving a spiritual injection. Just being with her even for 5 minutes, I was filled with peace and filled with joy and filled with love. And we could go out into the worst slums of India and face the worst human misery and death and disease, and we couldn't stop smiling. We couldn't stop pouring our love onto everyone we met because we had just been with Mother Teresa.
Sure.
You know, it was just awesome. It was contagious. Her joy was contagious. Very excellent question. It's thriving. Mother Teresa's order continues to thrive. She was convinced it was God's work, and exactly as she sort of prophetically said, the work is thriving. It continues beyond her. They're in over 120 countries around the world. And I believe the sisters have, I'm going to guess, about 4,500 nuns all around the world in the poorest of the poor places, you know.
Yes.
But really beautiful, beautiful. The sisters
that's great
keep on
that they're
keeping on. Yeah.
As Mother Teresa inspired many people, her legacy still lives on. Her love, kindness, care, and devotion she put into God's work has given many people inspiration to be more kind, loving, gentle, and humble on a daily basis. As she has inspired me, not only have I been carrying out her will, billions of people have been and continue to follow Mother Teresa's lesson of kindness and love, now and forever.
In the smile, when and often, ever cheers. Sometimes